Hello, it's me, Mrs. Holly, your recorder teacher. So for today's lesson, we are going to be taking a look at Rhythm Sheet 1. Rhythm Sheet 1. You can find this and all of the other pages of the book on our website, musiclearningband.com/recorders-video. If you can't access that link, just go to our homepage, musiclearningband.com, and click on the link for distance learning and look for the recorder videos section of our distance learning. All right, so there you can find the whole book, including Rhythm Sheet 1 that we're going to work on today. Okay, so I know that you're super excited to play recorder, but for today's lesson, we're actually going to be putting our recorders down. We may come back to them later, we may not, we'll just see how it goes. All right? So, before we dive into Rhythm Sheet 1, let's go over my happy little rhythm tree. So, my happy little rhythm tree. Why do you call it that, Miss Holly? Well, because when I'm done writing out my rhythm tree, it looks like a tree. Check it out. So at the top of my rhythm tree, have this guy right here. Now, what is that? It's an oval. Yes, but think about it. I'm talking about a rhythm tree. So this is going to be our whole note. Whole note. W-H-O-L-E. Whole note. A whole note lasts for 4 beats. So when you're counting it, it's going to look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I kept my hands together for all 4 beats, and I only clapped 1 time. Here it is again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So try it with me. Ready? Whole note. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great job. I clapped 1 time. I kept my hands together for all 4 beats. If I were to play this on the recorder, on the note B, this is what it would sound like. Ready, go. So my initial attack of the note, do, was like our clap. And me holding out the note was like me keeping my hands together. So that's the connection that I want you to draw in your mind. When I clap, it's like me starting the note. And when I keep my hands together, it's like me sustaining the note, holding it out. So that's our whole note. If I were to break the whole note in half, completely in half, boop, boop, I would need to basically take the 4 beats that I started with and divide it by 2. So, math friends, what is 4 divided by 2? 2. So one of these half notes gets 2 beats. The other half note, 2 beats. How many beats does a half note get? 2 beats. H-A-L-F. So we have a whole pizza, which is 4 beats long, and we have 2 halves of a pizza, each lasting 2 beats, right? Okay. So if we were to divide our half note into 2 pieces, let me back up. We clapped and counted our whole note, right? Let's do the same thing for our half notes real quick. Ready? So I'm going to go to this half note, and then I'll go to this half note. Ready, and here I go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I still counted to 4, but how many times did I clap? Look at it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. I clapped 2 times. 1 clap for each note. Since there's only 1 note at the top of the tree, I only clapped once. Because there's 2 notes here, I clapped 2 times. I held each clap out for a full 2 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I were to play it on my recorder, here's how it would sound. 1, 2, here I go. So, when I clapped on this note, it was my initial attack of the note on the recorder. And when I held out the count and I held my hands together for 2 beats, it was like me sustaining the note on the recorder for 2 beats. I'll play it for you one more time. Clap along with me at home. 1, 2, here I go. Did you hear 2 attacks on my recorder? Do, do. Those were my half notes. Now, let's divide our half notes in half. So, check it out. I take this half note and I divide it in half. What do I get? I get these guys. What are these guys called? Quarter notes. So I took this half note, I divided it in half, and I got 2 quarter notes. So if you take this half of the pizza and divide it in half, you get 2 quarters of a pizza. Let me do the same on this side. I apologize if my tree looks a little crooked, but hey, in nature, you ever find a perfectly symmetrical tree? Nope. So I took this half note and divided it into 2 quarter notes. So let's do the same thing on our pizza. Boop. Now it's starting to look like a pizza, huh? We have 4 quarter slices of pizza, and here we have 4 quarter notes. Quarter, Q-U-A-R-T-E-R. Quarter notes. So, to review, our whole note gets 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or, four beats on the recorder. Our half notes get 2 beats each. 1, 2, 3, 4. On the recorder. So our quarter notes are going to get half the amount that our half note got. Because we started with 4, and then our half note, one half note gets half that amount. Half of 4 is 2. And then 1 quarter note gets half the amount of the half note. What's half of 2, guys? 1. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 quarter notes, and each quarter note lasts for 1 beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many times did I clap? Watch again. 1, 2, 3, 4. I clapped 4 times. We have 4 notes. That makes sense, right? Here's what it sounds like on the recorder. Ready, go. Four quarter notes. 4 beats total for all 4 quarter notes. Each 1 quarter note gets 1 beat. So what happens if I take my quarter notes and I divide each of those in half? I get these guys. You ever seen that before? That cute little note with a tail? That's called an eighth note. Why is it called an eighth note? Because 8 eighth notes fit inside of a whole note. How does that happen? We have a whole pizza. We've divided it into quarters. But the most common way to divide a pizza is actually into 8 slices. Boop. Boop. Oh, that was a crooked slice, Mrs. Holly. We want all of our friends to have equal slices of pizza, don't we? All right, nobody accused me of being a good artist. All right, so we have a whole pizza that's been divided into 8 slices. So let's do the same thing on our rhythm tree. We had a whole note, and we're going to divide it into 8 eighth notes. Check it out. This 1 quarter note can be divided into 2 eighth notes. 1, 2. Sometimes you'll see eighth notes connected to each other, like this. Excuse me. These markers. All right. So these guys are eighth notes, and these guys are also eighth notes. They just look different, and they're going to look different in your sheet music depending on the context of what's going on. So 1 eighth note, 2 eighth notes, 3 eighth notes, 4 eighth notes. Let's finish it out. Another way to draw eighth notes would be to connect 3 of them at a time or even 4 of them at a time. We can connect all 4 of the rest of our eighth notes on 1 bar if we want to. If that's what the music requires, then that's what we do. So even though these guys look different from this, and this looks different from this, they're all eighth notes. I promise that's the most complicated it's going to get for this lesson today. So how do we count eighth notes? Let's go back to our whole note. Remember? 1, 2, 3, 4. I clapped 1 time and held it for 4 beats. Half notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. I clapped 2 times and held each half note out for 2 beats. Quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. I clapped 4 times and held each clap out for 1 beat. For our eighth notes, how many times do you think we're going to clap? That's right, we're going to clap 8 times. Ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let me do it again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Mrs. Holly, you said you clapped 8 times, but I heard you say the number 4. Why didn't you say 8? Because there's only 4 beats in a measure. And this quarter note took up all of beat 1. So when these 2 eighth notes fit inside of beat 1, we can't say 1, 2, because that would be stealing from beat 2. So we say 1 and. 1 and. That's for beat 1. 1 and. For beat 2, we would say 2 and. Because this quarter note took up all of beat 2, so we can't say 2, 3. That would be stealing from beat 3. We have to say 2 and we have to do that in the same amount of time that it takes to go 1 full beat. So we have 1, 2, 1 and 2 and. Look again. 1, 2, 1 and 2 and. So for beat 3, we're going to use 2 more eighth notes and say 3 and. So now we have 1 and 2 and 3 and. What are we missing? Our last 2 eighth notes. 4 and. Clap it with me, ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. One more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Good job. So let's start at the top of our tree and work our way down. Ready, and here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Good job. Let's do that one more time before we move on to our rhythm sheet number 1. We're going from the top of the tree down to our half notes, down to our quarter notes, all the way to our eighth notes. Ready, and here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Great job. Before I move on, I will just spell out for you how to spell eighth notes. E, I, G, H, T, H. G, H, T, H. Eighth notes. All right. So now take a look at rhythm sheet number 1. Hopefully you've been able to find it on our website, or you already have a copy of it at home. It's towards the beginning of the workbook because it's one of the first things that you need to understand. You have to learn how to walk before you can run, and you have to learn how to count rhythms before you can start playing songs on the recorder using the correct rhythms. All right, so we're going to break this worksheet down line by line. On future pages, you'll notice that they're numbered like 1, 2, 3, or A, B, C. This worksheet isn't numbered like that. It goes measure by measure. So you'll notice that there's these tiny little numbers under each measure, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So we're going to go line by line. So we're going to be looking first at measures 1 through 4. So let's take a look. What kind of notes do we have in the first measure? Well, those look like these, right? What are those? Quarter notes. Let's clap measure 1 together. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good job. That was easy. Take a look at measure 2. What in the world are those? Those aren't on the rhythm tree. Those, my friends, are quarter note rests. Rest means that you don't play. So we're not going to clap on our rests. So we had our quarter notes, and now we have our quarter rests. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quarter note rests. So just like each quarter note gets 1 beat, each quarter rest gets 1 beat of rest. So when we get to the rest, we're going to do this. Let me demonstrate. I'll clap measure 1 and then rest on measure 2. 1, 2, here I go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes when I count, I like to say rest, 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 rest to remind myself not to play. So let's take a look at measure 3. What does that look like? Measure 3 looks just like measure 1. And measure 4 looks just like measure 2. So now that we've gone over quarter notes and quarter rests, we can play the whole first line, measures 1 through 4. Let's clap and count measures 1 through 4 together. 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest, 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 rest. Good job. Sometimes I say rest, 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 rest. Sometimes I say rest, 2, 3, 4. Or maybe I'll just count 1, 2, 3, 4 and use my hands like this. As long as I'm not clapping, as long as I'm not playing, then we're good because they're rests. All right, so that wasn't too bad. Take a look at measure 5. Measure 5 is on the second line. So we just did the first line. Take a look at measure 5 right here. Measure 5, what do we see? We see a quarter note, and then a quarter rest, then another quarter note, and another quarter rest. So what does that sound like? Well, when we count our quarter notes, we clap, and when we count our rests, we do this. So let's try measure 7 together. Measure 5 together. Is that what he said? Anyways, measure 5. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, rest, 3, rest. Whoa, 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 Mrs. Holly, you said 3. Where was 2? Let's take a look. So on measure 5, we have quarter note, quarter rest, quarter note, quarter rest, all in one measure. How many beats are in one measure? 4 beats in one measure. So we have to count to 4. Where's beat 1? At the beginning, we always read from left to right in music. So beat 1 is taken completely up by the quarter note. Where's beat 2? The rest is on beat 2. Just because we don't play doesn't mean we don't count it. We have to count it. So 1, 2, 3. Our other quarter note is on beat 3. That's why I said 3. And then our last quarter rest falls on beat 4. So in measure 5, look at it with me. Here I go. 1, rest, 3, rest. Or I could say 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't keep my hands together because these aren't half notes. So I wouldn't go 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to separate my hands out so that you know that we're doing our rest and that this isn't a half note. So if I had a measure with 2 half notes in it, then it would be 1, hold for 2, 3, hold for 4. So I'll clap this one and count it, and then I'll clap this one and count it so you can see the difference. First one, ready, here I go. 1, rest, 3, rest. Next one, ready, here I go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. So you see how I held my hands together for these half notes? That's the difference. All right, so I'm going to erase this, and let's try measure 5 again. Measure 5, 1, 2, count it, go. 1, rest, 3, rest. Good job. So, let me turn this off. Where did you guys go? Oh no. Okay, there we go. All right, so measure 6. What does measure 6 look like? Well, measure 6 looks just like measure 1. We can do measure 6. Here we go. 1, 2, measure 6, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good job. Let's try measure 7. 1, 2, measure 7, go. 1, 2, 3, rest. Did you get that rest on before? I bet you did. Measure 8 looks just like measure 5. Quarter note, quarter rest, quarter note, quarter rest. Ready? And here's measure 8. 1, rest, 3, rest. Good job. Let's do all of that second line. Measures 5 through measures 8. 1, 2, with me, go. 1, rest, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, rest, 3, rest. Great job. All right, let's look at that third line. Measure 9. 1, rest, 3, rest. We've done that one twice before. Measure 9. Here we go. 1, rest, 3, rest. Uh-oh, look at measure 10. We start with a rest this time. You see that, measure 10? We have rest, quarter note, quarter note, quarter note. All in the same measure. This is my shorthand for quarter notes, so I don't have to use a lot of ink. So we start with a rest. What beat does that rest fall on? That rest falls on beat 1, because we read from left to right, remember? Which means that we're going to count and clap on beat 2 for our quarter note. And then 3, 4. Try it, ready, measure 10. Rest, 2, 3, 4. Good job. Try again. 1, 2, 3, 4. I said beat 1, but my hands were like this. I didn't clap it, so we're good. Let's try measure 9 and 10 together. Measure 9, ready, here we go. 1, rest, 3, rest, rest, 2, 3, 4. Wow, that was tricky, huh? Because we had a rest at the end of measure 9. That's the end of measure 9. And then we go straight into another rest here. All right. Measure 9 and 10 together again. 1, rest, 3, rest, rest, 2, 3, 4. Now we're ready for measure 11, because measure 11 starts on a rest again. So now we know what to do. Measure 11, ready, here we go. Rest, rest, 3, 4. Why did I say 3, 4? Because the quarter notes happen on beats 3 and 4. Let's try measures 9 through 11. 1, 2, measure 9 and go. 1, rest, 3, rest, rest, 2, 3, 4. Rest, rest, 3, 4. Good job. Take a look at measure 12. We don't start on a rest this time. This time we start with 2 quarter notes. Let's try just measure 12. 1, 2, measure 12 and go. 1, 2, rest, rest. Good job. That's not so bad. Let's do measures 9 through 12 without stopping. 1, 2, measure 9 and go. 1, rest, 3, rest, rest, 2, 3, 4. Rest, rest, 3, 4. 1, 2, rest, rest. Good job. All right. Measure 13. Take a look. We only clap on one beat for the whole measure. On beat 1. Let's try measure 13. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see that? I rested for the last 3 beats. Try again. 1, 2, 3, 4. What happens next? We rest on beat 1 for measure 14. Let's try 13 and 14 and see what happens. 1, 2, 13, go. 1, rest, 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 rest. 2, rest, rest. All right, here's where I think it's going to be helpful to count the numbers on the rests. Let's try 13 and 14 again. This time, instead of saying rest, rest, let's count the beats that they fall on. 1, 2, measure 13, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, very good. Very good. Measure 15 starts with the rest. Let's do measure 15 by itself. 1, 2, 15, go. Rest, 2, 3, 4. Good job. Let's do measures 13 through 15, counting all of the beats. 1, 2, 13, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, very good. This is tough stuff. Looking at measure 16, we start with a rest again. Measure 16 by itself and go. Rest, 2, 3, rest. I think we're ready to do all of that fourth line. Measures 13 through 16. 1, 2, count the beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. Measure 17. We start with 2 beats of rest, and then we clap the other 2 beats. Measure 17. 1, 2, ready, go. Rest, rest, 3, 4. Good job. Measure 18, we start with a clap. Measure 18, ready, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Measure 19, we start with a clap again, but there's only 1 beat of rest. 1, 2, 19, go. 1, rest, 3, 4. Good job. Measure 20, we start with a rest. 1, 2, ready, and rest. 2, 3, 4. Awesome job, you guys. We flew through that line. Let's do measure 17 through 20 without stopping. Measure 17, ready, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great job, you guys. Moving on to measure 21. What kind of notes are those? We don't have quarter notes anymore, guys. We have these. What are these called? Half notes. I feel like Maui. Half notes. All right. Measure 21. We're going to clap just like we did for our rhythm tree because there's 2 half notes. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, I clap 2 times and I hold each one out for 2 beats. Measure 21. Try again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great job. Looking at measure 22, we have the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Measure 23, it looks like it starts off the same. We have a half note. Let's erase this. Here's what measure 23 looks like. We have a half note, and then we have one of these funky looking things. So let's see if we can figure it out using math. This note lasts for how many beats? 2 beats. 1, hold for 2. So this thing right here has to last for 2 beats because 2 plus 2 is 4. So this one we held out for 2, so I'll write a little 2 in parentheses here. 1, 2. This one's going to do the same thing, 3, invisible 4. But do we play? Nope, that's not one of our playing notes. It's one of our resting notes. So you remember how we had quarter notes and quarter rests? Now we have half notes, and we're going to have a half rest. Half rest. A half rest sits on top of the line. When we get to whole rests at some point later in the book, those are going to hang down from the line. They look just like a half rest, except instead of on top of the line, it hangs down from the line. And it lasts for 4 beats because it's a whole rest. Today we're looking at half rests. So measure 23 sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. It would be the same as if I were to write a half note and 2 quarter rests. It would sound the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's do number 23 again. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go back to measure 21 and clap through to 23. Measure 21. Ready, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good job. Measure 24, we have 2 of these guys. We have 2 half rests. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 half rests is basically the same thing as saying a whole rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. But in this exercise, they want you to visualize 2 half rests. All right, let's do measures 21 through 24 together without stopping. Measure 21, ready, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you know what? I jumped a line. I'm so sorry. Let's try it again. 21 through 24. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great job. All right, the next line. Measure 25. We start off with one of these, and then we clap a half note on beat 3. 1, 2, 25, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looking at measure 26, it looks different because they're using quarter note rests instead of a half note rest, but it's going to sound the same as 25. So let's do 25 and 26 together. 1, 2, 25, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good job. Measure 27 looks just like measure 26. Let's try measures 25 through 27. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Measure 28, do we start with rest again? No, look at measure 28, guys. It starts on a half note. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's opposite of what we've been doing for the last 3 measures. Instead of starting with a half rest and playing a half note, we're going to play a half note and then end on a half rest. Let's try just measure 28 by itself. 1, 2, 28, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the whole line, 25 through 28. 1, 2, 25, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great job. We are almost through with Rhythm Sheet 1, you guys. Hang in there with me. Measure 29, we have 2 quarter notes and a half note. We can do this. 1, 2, 29, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great job. 29 one more time. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looking at measure 30, quarter rest, 2 quarter notes, and a quarter rest. Remember, we have to count to 4. Measure 30, 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Measure 31, half note, 2 quarter notes. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Measure 32 is the opposite, 2 quarter notes and then a half note. 32, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 29 through 32 without stopping. 1, 2, 29, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was a little tricky, so let's do it again. 29 through 32. 1, 2, 29, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great job. 33. 2 quarter notes and a half note. We've seen it before. Let's do it. 1, 2, 33, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Measure 34. It's the opposite. 1, 2, 34, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Measure 35. We have 2 half notes. That's easy. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Measure 36, quarter note rest, 2 quarter notes, and a quarter note rest. Just like measure 30 that we did earlier. Measure 36, 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 33 through 36. 1, 2, 33, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great job. We're on the last line. We start with a rest, and then a half note, and another rest. Measure 37, ready, go. Rest, 2, 3, 4. Good job. Measure 38, quarter note, half note, quarter rest. Measure 38, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Measure 39, we start with a half rest, and then we play a quarter note, and then a quarter rest. 1, 2, 39, here we go. Rest, rest, 3, rest. Measure 40, we start with a rest, we have a quarter note, and then a half note. 1, 2, measure 40, go. Rest, 2, 3, 4. Great job. We're ready to do all the last line. Measure 37 through measure 40. 1, 2, here we go. Rest, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great job, you guys. We worked so hard today. We went through our rhythm tree. We started to read rhythm sheet 1. We ran into some new kinds of rests. We worked so hard today. Give yourself a pat on the back. It's been 45 minutes of awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today. Make sure that you watch this video before you start with rhythm sheets 2, 3, and 4. All right? Until next time, I'm Mrs. Holly. Thank you so much for watching.